How would I rank them? You're first.
The industry needs people to be pushing the boundaries, and I think this just shows what we're doing as a community. We're changing things, right?
Lee.
Lee, 100%. Me and Lee, we draw.
But Lee's like non-offensive.
If you think about who's out there, the names on the list, I can't believe I got to the top of that.
Apron have been granted their license by the FCA. It'll be really interesting to see if that does impact their speed to market.
Employment Hero have rebundled their packages. And what does that mean?
So we have a great update from Roveel.
I've got a thing from Modulr.
Karbon have launched a marketplace. When you talk marketplace, you think, oh, this is the place that I go to go and plug in other apps. And yet, this is something completely different.
I do not believe I've ever seen something like this, and it is perfect, disruptive. I hope it can help with due diligence because you've got all the validated data in the platform.
And then John, something inside me that wants to help, and I worry at times about the amount of people that need help.
We don't need to talk to managers because we have white privilege.
Wow. Well, that's 2 minutes of controversial banter. Let's see how that goes down, shall we? Look at John, he's like, don't you dare tarnish me.
It's weird seeing John being the uncomfortable one out of us three, isn't it?
Oh, I haven't even mentioned Ryan.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Digi-Tools in Accrual World. We will be joined today by some amazing award winners for our recent Digital Disruptors Awards event that was held as the official pre-Accountex event. And we were very pleased and honoured to be asked to be able to work with Accountex to procure such a great event and to have such a wonderful lineup of guests that joined us on the day and the guests that actually joined us in the evening. For those of you who didn't make it, it will be back and we hope to go bigger and better. Without further ado, I'll introduce my co-hosts who you already know are John Toon, Ryan Piercy. How are you guys, John?
I'm really good. And I think that controversy was only controversial if you zoomed in really, really, really closely to Ryan, because I think it was one of those moments you blink and you miss it when he sort of ran past with no clothes on. So I think it'll be all right.
I don't remember this.
Oh, this is what happens when you drink too much beer.
Ryan. Oh, is that
we
what
were off the leash.
We all saw it. It was like a
Well, we didn't all see it, but
Well,
it was like the thing that came to mind was the early bird catches the worm.
And God, there wasn't a bird in the room.
My God. Anyway, Ryan, how are you?
I'm good. I'm excited to hear from the award winners today. It's been great kind of going through that, living, I guess, the experience of them actually receiving the award and being pretty chuffed about it. And I want to hear what they have to say, why they think they deserved it from the nominations they received and also the judges deliberating and making the decision.
How did you feel about being a bridesmaid, though, and not a bride?
Right, I was just happy to wear the dress.
Ah, cute. So Ryan was nominated as Digital Disruptor of the Year. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And it was not from John or I, because believe me, we are not that kind to him. So thanks to the people who did vote for him and recognise the great work that has been done to build this community of wonderful accountants who contribute so much to us in feedback terms, and hopefully will continue to join us on the next round of events that we will hold and continue to give their feedback to our app sponsors and app vendors as well. So shall we kick on with app news before we meet some of the winners? First things first, straight out of the gate, Apron have been granted their license by the FCA. So that was a tenant for the books. They have been FCA authorised. We know that they made the application not too long ago, and they've only been around for the last 1 year. They have clearly done a bang-up job of recruiting lots of different customers to the platform. They are now an EMI, which means that they will be able to issue things like cards from themselves. And I think that was always the intention of Apron, to go into more card issuing, and they will also be able to allocate IBANs. It does not mean that they will be able to give the same protection against fraud in the way the Revolut had done for many years. You know, that you have an EMI license, you don't have a full banking license. So it comes with its own regulatory approvals. But the fact is that it allows them to issue cards and bank accounts and then hopefully evolve from there. So it's great news here from their perspective, and we're sure that it's going to go a long way to supporting those customers who use Apron. And well done to them.
Definitely. I mean, I guess the main thing for this is they don't need to rely on third parties so much, so to build out stuff internally and use things internally, which should enhance the security, shouldn't it? So, be interested to see how that rolls out through the Apron platform over time.
It will be. And in theory, the thing that comes with this means that actually usually you're on the hook to declare, to resubmit processes, policies on a regular basis to the FCA, which means that there's obligations that come with that from a team perspective, a compliance team that can then continue to make sure that onboardings happen, but then the KYB, the AML provisions are all checked off once more. So it'll be really interesting to see if that does impact their speed to market, because in the past, I think they were using the license of a third party. And most of the fintechs that you leverage a license of a third party, obviously the speed to market is a lot quicker because they're not taking on all of that compliance piece. So I wonder now if this will impact on the speed to opening of accounts, or again, the speed to getting started. And that's just born out of the fact that once you are FCA regulated in any way, the compliance obligation increases.
I have a second update from Apron as well, which is that they have just launched 2FA into their products. So along with the new licensing things that we just talked about, some additional security features, I guess, to help make your account a bit more secure, as well as everything else. And do you know what? I think we're kind of all pretty much sort of normalized with 2FA now. It's kind of the standard thing, and a lot of organizations, ourselves included, generally would ask for for 2FA as a minimum requirement now when it comes to dealing with apps, particularly when we've got client data held in those, and we've got things like cybersecurity essentials and other certifications that we've got to maintain. Along with that, they have also launched a new practice hub, so a new interface to that, so it makes it a little bit easier to navigate around your client lists and what you've got going on. They've got a new user account type as well, so practice hub member, so you can see a better overview of what clients you're responsible for, who you've been assigned to, and where you've got to make payments or do things in that. And finally, as well, they've also added the ability to add multiple photos and photo merging within the product. So you can do a couple of neat little things there, which are in other OCR products at the moment, just to make that management of, sort of like multi-page invoices, for example, a bit easier, or, where you've taken more than one picture, but actually it's part of the same thing, to merge that together. So that's all there, really ready to go in the product, and neat little bunch of updates from them.
Yeah, I guess I just expect 2FA nowadays. I probably shouldn't. It's just, it seems to be mandated by everyone, so I just expect to have to use 2FA and everything. So I guess, if with the FCA license, it makes sense to have 2FA in place. I guess they just come hand in hand. Well, I've got something from Employment Hero. They have rebundled their packages. They've now changed to a Lite, Plus, and Unlimited package. And what does that mean? So Lite essentially is automating your payroll, streamline your HR, but not getting full, HR functionality. Plus elevates that further, bringing in performance management, bringing in expense management, and also LMS. And then Unlimited brings in everything, as well as HR and employment law advisory. So they've just restructured everything. Since Employment Hero bought KeyPay a while ago, I guess they've been realigning the platforms, restructuring what should sit in each place. It's all now come together into a single restructured trio of pricing. One thing I would say is that it feels more expensive. So hopefully there's a lot more. I know they've got a lot more going with it, including Smart Match, which is, I guess, their first AI-powered area. But key thing is that it has to be, I guess, value for money. And the way they've structured you before could pay for payroll separately. And now, because they want to be a fully integrated HR and payroll platform, everything is focused on I guess, all been in one place, one pricing package that covers both tools.
So we have a great little update from Roveel, which is that you can now do PDF reporting within their product. So I know that the team there have been working on this for a little while, because I caught up with some of them at Fab, I think it was, which is way back when, isn't it now? And they were looking at a whole bunch of updates, which have kind of like been triggered off by their integration with Xero, which was a big thing for them. And now they've kind of done that. They're sort of fine tuning the product. And one of the big things about being able to do this is obviously if you can put the reports into PDF, it means it's a little bit easy to share. Some clients just prefer to have a document that sometimes they want to print out as well, but also that they want to be able to email around others without having to go through a portal, which will be limited to particular users in some instances. So it's great to see that, and it also means that you've got some additional accessibility functionality, as well as the ability, of course, if you wanted to, is you could put it through a product like ChatGPT and get it to extract information and ask questions about it. So you've got a whole bunch of new stuff in there. The PDF reports that they've got available at the moment in the product are ones around sales, ones around suppliers, their main finance reports, and then they've got a whole bunch of new Sage 50 dashboards that have come out as a consequence of the product development and work that they've done. So we've got some stuff around invoice profit on average stock costs, last stock cost, product profit overviews. And they've also got some additional Xero dashboards. So things around balance sheets, P&Ls, budgeting, and sales quantity dashboards. So it's a whole bunch of features here, but the key one is that PDF reporting functionality, which is great to see.
Yeah, it's interesting nowadays that people build out a full reporting platform and then only bring PDF reporting towards the end. I guess it's showing how times have changed, right? That people enjoy their reporting directly now on their tablets live, rather than creating a pack at the end of a given month. Maybe we have evolved as an industry, and we are living in real-time finance now. It's exciting to see that. I've got a little thing from Modulr. So they have basically built into Xero payroll. So Modulr's been powering embedded payments for a long time, I guess mostly in the Sage platform. Then they built into Xero for the bill pay. Now they're built into Xero payroll, which is probably just a missing piece from their payroll, from their Xero integration. And the full sucking down the employee information to pay is critical. Now, from that aspect, they now integrate into Xero, Sage, Iris, and BrightPay. So probably one of the broader payroll payment platforms out there at present. So if you are a payroll bureau, Modulr is one to be considered, whereas I guess historically it was very focused on Sage, and Iris is now expanded out. And I think we need to be considering Modulr in our I guess digital transformation team as well now, as something that was very localized and one we kind of didn't really focus on. It's one we need to pick up and have a look at again.
Absolutely. I think we're probably in a similar boat actually with Modulr. They've always felt like they maybe weren't quite a really great fit for us unless it was around payroll and other things. And I know that their technology powers everything that Revolut were doing, in terms of their functionality. So great to see that Modulr just keep ticking off the things that they're really good at with this payroll integration into Xero, and another great little feature. I've also got a fascinating update, I think it is, from Karbon, in that they have launched a marketplace, and it's a practice marketplace. So I guess when you're talking about technology and you talk marketplace, you think, oh, this is the place that I go to go and plug in other apps. And yet this is something completely different. What Karbon have started to do is they are starting to collate firms that are either interested in buying another firm or that are wanting to sell their firm. And Karbon are collecting this information together. They're connecting all of the key attributes in terms of your revenue, your region, size, in terms of headcount and types of clients, and number of clients and things, and doing it across all sorts of scales. And then also making this into something that obviously, if you're interested in buying, you can tap into and go have a look. And obviously, again, if you're looking to sell, you can go in and provide some of your information. Quite how it works in terms of if there's a fee to pay, or if there's some sort of commission basis, if a successful sale happens and things like that. It's not immediately clear, I must admit, from the from the details that are on the website. I'm sure if you go into the T's and C's and dig around in there, you'll find a bit more information. But I mean, I think this is genuinely fascinating because there aren't really many places anywhere that you can find this. I mean, you kind of see blocks of fees or practices maybe going up for sale on Accounting Web periodically, and then obviously there's a whole bunch of brokers. But yeah, really interesting to see. And I think it'd be great to see what kind of metrics they're collecting on some of these businesses that are looking to sell in terms of, are they fully remote? Are they fully on site in terms of being in an office? Are they, are they using technology? What's their efficiency look like if they can capture all those pieces of information? And I mean, if they can kind of cover the globe, there's a great opportunity here for someone looking to be highly acquisitive, I think.
Yeah, fascinating is the right word, John. I do not believe I've ever seen something like this, and it is perfect to bring up on the podcast. It's disruptive, and what I hope that they will do on this is it can help with the due diligence side, because you've got all the validated data entirely in the platform, one that you should, I guess, already be using as a Karbon firm. So yeah, the trust is built. It should speed up the process. Let's see if people properly use it. Hopefully this is something we can maybe get someone from Karbon on to talk about how it's working, what they envisage this to do, what they want it to grow into. But it should definitely disrupt this market.
You know what is the most adorable thing is that Sienna can do these really brilliant Indian accents, and I just love it. And she's so proud that she can do it. She's so proud of herself that she's been able to pick that up. And I think it's super cute because I'm just when she speaks it, it's just like a little child voice. I really think that I should just audition her for some sort of show, they just need a token,
Indian
accent. Yeah. In the form of a tween.
Is it as good as my Indian accent though?
Do you want to try and replicate your?
Oh, it was only ever done once. That is a once in a lifetime event, that one.
Can I show you my Bwam accent?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, my Bwam accent is this. I'd like to talk to the manager, please.
I mean, that just sounded like you. It just sounded like you.
That's just you being bossy.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I never asked to speak to the manager.
We don't need to talk to managers because we have white privilege.
I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you for identifying with your race. Thank you so much. You killed me in that moment, Ryan.
That was good.
Well, that's 2 minutes of controversial banter. Let's see how that goes down, shall we? Look at John. He's like, don't you dare tarnish me. I don't have any white privilege. It's not me. I live up here in the north and we hang our tea bags out on washing lines.
It's really weird seeing John being the uncomfortable one out of us three, isn't it? It's normally John saying something and us two are like, oh, we can't possibly put that in.
But Ryan, you entered a territory which I think is so reasonable to finally start talking about the differences and nuances, because if we don't start having conversations, then and actually being able to have it in a light way as well as a deep way, it becomes such an uncomfortable thing that just escalates because nobody feels comfortable talking about it. So I appreciate you, Ryan. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Johnny Gaunt. You always say to people that they're your favourite, don't you?
I don't. No, genuinely. How would I rank them? Who were your first?
You are such a charmer.
Lee, and then John.
Lee, 100%. Me and Lee, we draw.
But Lee's non-offensive.
Well, I mean, Ryan's... Oh, hang on. John...
You mentioned Ryan.
You didn't even mention Ryan.
Unforgettable.
We'll cut that later.
Yeah.
Not really.
Well, it's he's put a suit jacket on tonight to try and be the big man.
Yeah, he's the big man. To
Yeah.
show, shoulder
try and show up, but
shoulder pads.
it's his wife's.
Naughty man.
Is it? The buttons are on the way around. Have a look.
No.
There you are. It's a lady's jacket.
Boss
It's a lady's
today.
jacket.
He's the boss today, okay?
Yeah.
He's done a good job of just being up there and like, it's a hunter, isn't it like evolve, we evolve, you know, to see the shoulders.
So he told me about when his baby, they planned when his baby was going to be born. And he said it was cheaper to have a summer baby than a winter baby.
We'll move on from that because you won an amazing award today. Are you shocked?
Absolutely, and what a trophy. Like, really, really proud. It's like a big, big team effort. And I think it's that bit of we've spent the last like 12, 18 months like busy building stuff. And now it's like we're coming out of stealth mode. So yeah, it's really nice to be recognised.
Is it really coming out of stealth mode when you're pretty much for the last 1 year entertained most people on LinkedIn with your ambitious influencer style and generally building in public?
It's hardly an influencer, is it? It's more of a car crash. I guess part of it is there's something inside me that wants to help, and I worry at times about like the amount of people that need help, and so part of it is me pushing myself out of my comfort zone to try and maybe get people to talk a little bit more. And I think that's what I like about what you guys are doing. It's almost like you say how it is, and I think that's the way that we need to be a bit more open and honest and not really care. So yeah.
It isn't always easy as Ryan experiences on a daily and weekly basis, and Jon obviously doesn't really give monkeys. He's like, love me if you love me, hate me if you hate me. It makes no difference to my daily bread. But no, it is tricky to like get the balance right, and I think that you've done a really good job of being able to transmit your energy, to share with us your journeys that you've gone on, and also the teams that you've built, the friends that you've made along the way. I think that there's a lot of respect for you in the industry, and that's kind of shown this last year. So I hope that you really.
I'm a little bit touched. Thank you.
And also, I'm just saying that because I'm your
You're
favourite.
just saying those things now back in return, aren't you?
No, I'm glad that you could join us.
Thank you.
What do you think though? Like, do you think that anyone shocked you tonight in terms of like you thought someone was going to win but they didn't win and you were
No, I'm super excited that Richard Sargent won. Like, I just think that he's he's a little bit of a ninja.
Yeah.
He's doing so much work, but he's just behind the scenes. And like, so I'm from Bristol, and the whole thing's done about the boat parties and everything. He's just really kind of quiet, great at connecting people. So I'm really, really pleased to see Richard come about there.
It's great. It is really good to see the fact that he was recognised by so many people. I mean, I personally felt that there were lots of people who deserved that award. Yeah. And maybe that's just because it's so long overdue. There were every single person that was nominated, and even the shortlist, I just remember thinking the disruptors and the deities, long overdue for most of those. But yeah, Richard Sargent, for me, it was the way that he's quietly influenced. He's quietly made the difference to so many people's business and day to day. It was great to see that, like, the support for him.
Yeah. And for me, he's just got a heart of gold, absolute heart of gold, and he's an absolute gent. So for me, that was the one that was kind of like, it was great to see his name up there, and then to see him like as the winner. That for me is just like, yeah.
Thank you for joining us, Johnny. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
Aaron, I'm so happy that you won. Honestly, I think, how does it feel? Now you've got it in your hands, our very special Digital Disruptor of the Year award. How do you feel?
Well, this will never leave my side now. So everywhere I go, I'm going to be taking this with me. Obviously, it'll be coming to bed with me, shower with me. So hopefully it's waterproof. No, honestly, this means the world to me. I think more than anything, this is the one where you don't get to vote for yourself. So the fact that people out there have just given me that opportunity and give me the vote just means the world to me. And you guys as well. 6 weeks ago, this didn't happen. 6 weeks ago, I would never have got this, right? And you guys smashed it out of the park, and yeah, couldn't be happier at all.
You know what, I think that you're giving us a lot of credit, but I can tell you that the judges' feedback was pretty resounding when it came to you, Aaron Patrick. I don't know who you bribed, how many people you had to kiss, how many people you had to like get in a private room and really sell yourself to, how many contracts you signed as a result, selling your soul. But the feedback was pretty consistent that the amount of content you release on a daily basis, the amount of help you give and support you give to the app community, and in general to everyone that's working with QuickBooks. I mean, you are literally dressed in everything green. Like, is it like, is that your whole wardrobe?
It's my brand. Yeah, it's my brand. That's all I have. And it makes it really easy, right? I go to the clothes aisle and I find a green top or a green pair of trousers and I buy it. It makes it easy. But no, you've got to be brand loyal. And to your point of who I had to bribe and everything else, I didn't bribe them. I threatened to take away their QuickBooks certification. So I had that power, you see. So that, no, I'm joking.
We were really, really delighted that you were the one that won it. I think there were some other great names in your category, and you probably saw the shortlist, and I don't know whether you have like any perspectives on who you thought was going to win this category, actually.
I honestly, when I saw just being nominated was all I was really like, that was my key. Like, I've been nominated, everything, because the nominations we had this time for Digital Disruptor, if you think about who's out there doing what they're doing at the moment, the names on the list are just, I generally can't believe that I got to the top of that one. And I think as well, what's exciting about it is the fact that this is just the start. Like, there's so many more coming through. You put up the list of the newcomers that are coming through, the Prodigy Child. Wow, like how you were literally sitting there going time after time, and like everyone who was given the one, they're the winners next, right? Or at some point, right? They're going to be coming up and coming for this, and we need it. The industry needs it. The industry needs people to be pushing the boundaries, listen to people like yourself, listen to the podcast, getting involved in the community. And I think like this just shows what we're doing as a community. We're changing things, right? We're being different. We want to be brave. We want to be out there. And it's a positive step for the community in my eyes.
Yeah, and you obviously have helped us invariably tonight with the live feeds, with making sure that you're like everything that we said on the stage, all of us had wholeheartedly agreed you're absolutely infectious in all the right ways.
Thank you. Look, this event just sums it all up, right? Like, this is why you want to be involved in things like this. As soon as I got the opportunity to be, I said yes straight away. There was no denying. Like, seeing you three up there, bringing this community together, I just wanted to be involved in some way. And like, everyone needs to see it, and hopefully the people out there, the people who are watching on the stream, they should be here next year because this is the event to be.
Do you think that it's quite difficult for a large app to be able to make the awards categories, and the fact that to win one, I mean, Engager obviously won the release of the year because it is a smaller app. What's your perspective on whether it's like, how does that sit within our community and recognition of larger apps?
I think Dex did the right thing. They released a solution that is now starting to put them in that premium category because they have to be in that premium category. That's where they belong. That's where we as the consumer needs them to be. And I think their release deserves that recognition for that. But, QuickBooks have made some quality releases this year. Xero's made some good releases. Like, they've all made good releases, but I think it's just the amount of releases that people like Engager can do. And it impacts, right? Like, one of the things I will definitely lay on my sword for people like Engager is they're listening to that feedback. They're at that size when they can listen and they can pivot and they can make your life easier and they can improve your workflow. We beg the likes of QuickBooks to improve our workflow. We beg the likes of Xero to improve our workflow. Dex are trying their best to get in the good books and start improving, but it's so much more difficult for them, right? They've got such a bigger ship to turn and so much more moving parts. So I think it's good for the industry. Like, let's have these smaller apps going out there, showing what can be done, showing what can be done for us as a consumer, and then I think everyone wins because innovation breeds innovation, right? And we keep seeing that, and I think we're in a really good position, and tonight's just shown that.
Thank you for joining us, and well done on winning this award. It is waterproof. It's not the most snuggliest award, so maybe wrap it in a little towel or something, because I'm worried about your bedtime. It's quite the point at the top that we really had to think about the health and safety of it. Well done. Thank you so much, Aaron.
No, thank you. Thank you. You've been amazing. Thank you.
Well, there you have it. There wraps up another podcast for the Digi-Tools and Accrual World crew, and of course, Digital Disruptors. as ever, we're always interested in your feedback, your comments. If you want to take the time to rate us, etc., that would be really, really great and really appreciated. And hopefully you enjoyed the show. Hopefully you enjoyed the interviews and the follow-up on our awards event, because we thought it was a cracking opportunity to do something a little bit different in the market, and we hope that you found the same as well.